Do you want to whittle down your board game shelf of shame?
Today we're going to show you how the Dized app can help you do just that. Hi, I'm Julian and this is Libby, and together we form BoxedMeeples.
We do indeed, and today we're going to talk to you about our shelf of shame. Obviously, it's towards the beginning of the year. There's been quite a few games come into the house. We didn't get everything we wanted to get played towards the end of the year. So we're sort of counting up some numbers of games we want to get to the table and get played. Sometimes it can get a bit sort of stressful. How do I find the time? How am I going to learn all these games? Oh, this one needs 3 players. This one needs this, da-da-da-da-da. And recently, we have been learning some games with the Dized app, haven't we?
Yeah, so the Dized app is basically, imagine having a friend next to you who knows a board game really, really well. They know inside and out, they know backwards and forwards, and they're sitting you, guiding you through the game. The Dized app essentially is that in a digital format. It works on tablets, it works on mobiles, and what it is, it's like an interactive tutorial. The idea being that you take a game, you discard the rulebook, place it on the table, and you just run the app and it will talk you slowly through it, step by step, allowing you to actually start playing the game while you're learning how to play it.
Yeah, we have used this app in a few games recently. So some of the tiny epics that we've been playing, and also expeditions we played recently. And some of those were more of a memory jog. It'd been quite a while since we'd put them to the table, or we hadn't learned it. We were just playing with said friend who knew all the rules and was telling us what to do when, etc. So we needed to sort of refresh and clarify some of those little nuances and can you do this if this happens, etc. And that app was really great for that. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to see if from scratch, having still in shrink, completely in shrink, not looked at anything other than remembering how good everyone keeps saying it is, and I saw it on a table at Essen, didn't sit down and play. I mean, it was too chocker to even get near any of those tables. So we know nothing about how to actually set it up, any of the mechanisms, nothing at all. We're going to see how easy it is to get this bad boy straight to the table with the help of our friends at Dized. Let's play Apiary. Select Next in the lower right corner to start. In a far distant future, humans no longer inhabit Earth. Assemble the queen ship miniature and place it on its starting location next to the planning grid. When you take explore actions during the game, you move the queen ship.
You are now free to continue playing on your own. Use the buttons for help when needed. This is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for learning Apiary with Dized.
So that's Apiary played, and I barely could even tell you what the front cover of the instruction manual looks like.
No, didn't even look in it. Didn't need to reference it at any point. We used the app all the way through. But Apiary, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, great game. Really enjoyed it. I think next time I'd play differently. I love that in a first game where you're kind of discovering how it all works, and you can kind of, as soon as you've made some mistakes, you can sort of see where you went wrong and what you would want to do next time. It's one of those games where I'd quite happily like just reset and start again and be like, okay, right, new faction board, get some different tiles will obviously come up. There seems to be quite a lot of variability that would come through. We were going for quite different goals on our maps, which made it interesting trying to sort of gauge where we are. You sort of ran away with it because I made some mistakes with the bees and the cycling. I got to the point where I sort of needed to get loads of them back all at the same time. I hadn't managed them well, so I'll improve that next time.
Yeah, and it wasn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be.
Oh no, it's quite easy to pick up. I mean, probably helped by that.
How by that? But it ends quickly. Quite a slow build as you're kind of beginning to move the Robo Bee or the Space Bee around, exploring the galaxy and getting the resources from that. And I love how that's varied each game, because obviously the planets dictate what's going to be there, the players dictate what's on the planets. So yeah, how you're collecting resources is going to be different every time.
Yeah, and how fast you're cycling through your bees will change, because sometimes that's a benefit that you get to sort of boost and get some back earlier than you would necessarily normally, or different things. So I think, yeah.
It worked really well at 2 players. There wasn't an ultimate to worry about or anything like that. It'd be interesting to see how it plays at a larger player count, because obviously there's a big deal about bumping bees and shifting people down. I presume there's more spots available on larger player count, but still, with more people placing bees, you can imagine that being cycled through quicker.
Yeah, because there's 2 sides of the board. So we were playing 1 to 3 player side. So I think if we were, it'd be interesting to play at either 4 or 5 rather than 3, and just see how many more spaces.
Yeah, see what spots.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that bumping will become quite a thing for sure.
Because it's quite tactical when you choose to retrieve your workers and have it back, whether you're going to use them to upgrade or delay that. And you know, even in ways you increase your hive, whether you're doing it so you do get residual bonuses from retrieving your workers,
which you did really well. You built out loads of farms, and every time you were retrieving, you were getting a lot of resources from that. Whereas my kind of sort of faction was trying to get the sort of development, the one-off benefits next to the hive. So I was at the beginning, because you don't have as many routes, because I was trying to get one to go the wrong way that wasn't next to my central thing, to then try and keep those spots for the extra points around there. But then and those are pointier to try and get the resources for those is a little bit harder. So you sort of seem to have this kind of farming engine pop up out of nowhere really quick, whereas I was having to do things a different way.
I had a very neat hive as well, so I got a lot of points for filling up all the extra section you can have, and as well as the membership itself. So that was a real kind of boon for points at the end. But yeah, really looking forward to playing that game. And as with all Stonemaier games, such a lovely production.
Yeah, really nice. Those bees are super cute. The big queen bee, I mean, quite like the paint.
Yeah, but I'll be painted by the time we play it next.
But yeah, lovely little wooden resources and things as per usual.
Yeah, so, and so I was saying, so much variability. But how do you find the dolly stat?
Really easy and simple to do. I mean, it runs you through sort of the first 3 turns. Kind of you tell it what you're planning on doing and things like that. And then occasionally at the end of a round, it will say, oh, by the way, I'm just going to tell you about this now. So it hasn't sort of front loaded you with too much going on. And then whenever you want to, from that stage on, you can double check and kind of go back to that. Oh, I'm taking this action. Oh yeah, I'm allowed to do that, and just clarify something. Or you can go to another button and then sort of put in a word, whatever it is that you're, maybe an advanced action or something or other that you're just wanting to double check.
We had a question mark about a few things, and it's like, well, let's just check. And it saves you having to, plunge into BGG and find out on a forum some obscure thing, or just sift through the rulebook and try to find a keyword. It all makes it very, very simple.
Yeah.
And this is obviously a heavier game than many of the other games that are on there. And you think, well, for a kind of app-based tutorial, it would only be light games, very simple games. I've used it to teach boop to people quite quickly, which is quite a visual game, so it helps out. And we've talked about how we've used it for the Tiny Epic games, great for learning those, particularly solo. But yeah, this is a heavier, denser game. But I didn't find it was just...
Well, it didn't feel like that at all, though. It felt like quite intuitive, quite simple. Okay, fine, I'll take this action, or this action. Great.
Yeah.
The actions themselves aren't convoluted or anything like that, and they were explained pretty well on the app. So
yeah,
it just seemed to come quite easily to us. First game, we weren't floundering about at all.
No,
we looked up, I think, 2 things, but that was basically a reminder because we couldn't remember if we were allowed to do one-on-one move or it was the
observer is and normally we play a game, we go, well, it's a first game, as a learning game. I felt like we played that properly.
Yeah.
I had a full game there. I felt like, it's things like, well, we do differently next time I play, but that's true of any game you play. It wasn't like a learning game where we're like, well, I can see why this would be good. Let's play it again sometime.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have no qualms in saying that quite often if we play a game for the first time, we might have got several rules wrong. Yeah. And then next time it's like, okay, well,
we know for next time.
We'll play it right next time.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I feel
like we did actually get the rules right.
And interesting, I feel like I could teach this now, kind of using the app as an accompaniment. I feel like I know it well enough to be able to impart that to someone else.
Yeah.
And I love the way it kind of bubbles away in the background. You may want to obviously mute the music after a certain time because there's a bit of looping on that. But it does create an atmosphere.
Yeah, we do like that kind of background music when we're playing games. We like to sort of try to theme it to the style of game that we're playing. And this has got a kind of spacey edge to it, I would say. So we definitely appreciate that kind of thing in the app. So that was good. Yeah.
So a big thumbs up really for the Dized app.
Absolutely, yeah. We must say thank you to Dized who have given us a subscription. And they've also been very kind and they have given us 2 gift codes to give to people for 6 months subscription. Now, the Dized app is free, so you can go on there, you can learn all these games without a charge. However, you will find adverts and things like that on there. With the subscription, there are several added bonuses and extra bits and bobs on there.
But the main thing is no adverts. There's no interruptions at all.
Yeah, so you're not wasting time sat there waiting to find out the thing you want to know. So if you are interested in having a free 6-month subscription to the Dized app, courtesy of Dized, thank you very much again, then do comment down in this video and let us know what games you'd be interested in learning perhaps on Dized, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Or if you're on social media, we will also have 1 entry there. So 1 on YouTube, 1 on social medias, where basically you just need to, again, make sure you're subscribed to us, maybe tag someone else that might be interested in the Dized app, and also share our post that has the link to this video in it.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 6-month subscriptions you can win, 1 on here, 1 on social media.
Yeah.
So thanks again to Dized for giving us the 12-month subscription. We will be using it a lot because there's a lot of games on there that I've just seen. So You've Been Eaten is on there, which we got at Christmas, so we're going to learn it through that. And I think this is really going to be our kind of go-to now to learn a game.
Yeah, it's quick, it's easy. I feel like we're at the table doing. I sometimes am a bit impatient, so I don't like to kind of get all through the rules before I get to have a try. And this lets me kind of learn as I play. I feel like I'm making use of the time.
Yes, you do feel like you're playing the game while you're learning.
Yeah, and we haven't played Red Cathedral for a while, and I did notice that was on there, and so that might help us just remember a
refresh it,
few of just a bit of a refresher. I think it would be good for refreshers as well as learning games for as a whole. But anyway, that's us. That's Apiary. We loved it. Of course we did. It's a Stonemaier game.
If you want to get hold of Apiary, the first place you should look will be your friendly local game store. And for us in the southeast of England, that is, of course, Chaos Cards, which is where we bought our copy from.
It is indeed.
It's not often in stock, so if you see it in stock, like we did, we just kind of leapt on it. But yes, if you want to buy from Chaos Cards, there's a discount code down below in the description, which will get you some money off at the checkout. And as always, we've been Libby and Julian, and we post board game videos right here on YouTube at least twice a week. So if that's your kind of thing, and if you want to enter into the competition, make sure you are subscribed and comment down below. But thanks so much for watching.
See you next time. Bye.